Well, everybody, is my first clip out from the track. Now, these are the clips for the point and signal decoders, which you've seen under the layout. And in this particular instance, this one fed 21, 22, 23 and 24 points, which are spread all over the layout to a certain extent. And what we've done with the wire from them. So here's that decoder here, and the cable runs this way, this one here, along here, with the pretty colours on it, and it runs all the way along here, and in the end it finishes here. And these are my first connections. So as you can see, if it will focus okay. Now at the moment I've just got it wrapped round, really to try it, to make sure it works. And I've also done it to the black, which is a bit difficult to see because there's stuff in the way, but there it is. So I've got that to the black and the other one to the red. So pleased with that. So before you is point number 21. And let's see if it works. Yippee! And again, so there we are. And the other number ones are, there's one over there, it's the one into the siding where the 101 sits. That works okay. And the other two are in the big fiddle yard. So I think we won't go up there for this time. I'm quite happy with that. All I've got to do now is go and connect up the other 7 or 8 of these onto the buzz wire, but it obviously proves it works. And I did turn it off and turn it on again to see if the point's set to the right setting, to see if the plus and minus were right. Well, of course in DCC there isn't a plus and a minus, but it would still make a difference if you mix them up, I would have thought. So I'm quite happy. I've got the N7 running around with the old carriages there, just to see that it's all working, which it is. And yeah, so it's more wiring, and then a bit of soldering to solder these in, and a bit of black tape round to make them secure, shall we say. And then carrying on, that's where the hard work starts, with taking the track up and doing what I need to do with that. So it's great. Cheers. Well, hello everybody. As you've seen, I've started doing the points into the buzz wires, haven't I? Unfortunately, my work was abruptly interrupted by me trying to headbutt my roof. And it's, to be honest, it's really the first time ever that I've sort of really hit my head really hard on those rafters. They don't seem to move very much, I find. So it was, I got quite a gash. I got about a 70, 80 mil gash in my head, about 3 inches long. And very kindly, my next door neighbour took me, after a trip up to Harwich Hospital, which was shut. Well, it was open, there was a lady on the reception, but no medical staff. She did advise me to go to Clacton Hospital instead of Colchester Hospital, which is what we did. And I must admit, it was super. I went in, sat in the waiting room for 3 minutes, was taken in, and in an hour I was out and we were on the way home. Absolutely super. So I've got 3 stitches in my head, plus a bit of glue, super glue. And I got the bandages because it kept wanting to bleed a little bit. But if I can tell you that when I first did it, my hand was red. And I'll show you when I go up in the loft, which I'm not going to do now, but when I go up in the loft again, I'll show you where the blood drops are. But yeah, a bit traumatic and feel bloody silly for doing it because I was getting on so well. I was on course to get them all connected to the buzz wires. The ones I have connected are working all right. And it wasn't actually the work on that was allowed me to do this. It was I've got one point that doesn't seem to want to work properly, and I was trying to get that right. And yeah, I think what I did is I walked out of my normal way that I go under the roof, which is right up against the layout, and was out. So I even missed my protection that I've got on my rafters. So yeah, not feeling very clever, but hopefully I shall be all right. I've just got to watch out for any signs of concussion and that sort of thing, but I seem to be doing all right, so we'll see. So it happened about, I don't know, what, 5 hours ago, so not too bad. So hopefully we'll get back up in the loft and get on with work. But apparently I can't wash my hair for 5 days, can't get it wet, so it'd be a bit grubby, couldn't it? Never mind, I'll have a shower the rest of the bits. Okay, everybody, but I hope you're all well, and hopefully I'll bounce back and mend. I might be a bit more wary of my roof though in future. Cheers. Well, hello everybody. So this is literally 5 days, full days, after I had my little accident over there. And I've only really been up in here to get my hat. I've washed it because it had a little bit of blood. I was surprised how little blood it had on. So as Martin Brundle from the old Formula 1 lot likes to say, he sort of says, oh, we'll follow him to the scene of the accident, and I think that's what we'll do now. So I'm going to take the camera off the tripod and we'll follow the way to where I had the accident. Okay, everybody, cheers. So the trail we're about to follow was for me to get to this tissue paper that's wrapped up here, look, on the roll, because I needed something to stop the blood. So if we swing round, I didn't seem to get much on the carpet, I must admit, but very soon you can probably start to see some spots of blood, and we'll follow it along. And these were basically dripping off my hand, I would say, because I had my hand firmly cramped over the wound, or as far as I knew I had. And as you can see, it's, you know, it's not a bad trail to follow. And I think we can safely say that this might have been the scene of the accident. And if I pan up and just show you, the reason I had such a bad 3-inch wound I chose to hit into was this one. So I completely missed my protection, and I actually must have hit the top of my head firmly onto these cable fixings, I think. Although surprisingly there isn't any blood on it, which I find very strange considering how much came out of it. So what am I proposing to do? Well, I think I need to protect this. Now, I'm going to be very wary for a little while, aren't I? And I've always been fairly aware, which is, you know, why I put these on. And I think what I did is I bent the normal amount to go through here, which is where I normally go, but for whatever reason decided to go over here. and with my head at the same level as going under the padded bit, that's why I impacted that. And yeah, it was a bit of a shock, I must admit. And I've not been up here for 5 days to do any work because I just wanted it to knit together and do. I luckily had all my stitches out on Thursday, the 3. There's still bits of super glue on it, I think. It feels a bit rough, but it does seem to be holding out and not bled since. It did actually bleed for at least 24 hours after I did it, even with the stitches in. So yeah, not good. So within that 5 days I had another delivery from Hornby, which I'll show you in a moment. Not the box. So as always from Hatton's, well wrapped, and some bubble wrap and some big bubble wrap. And I think what I'm going to try and do is tack some of this up here to protect my head if I ever decide to do it again. And to that end, I've got some of these big roofing tacks, so I think I'll do that to hold it. Hopefully it won't then split through the bubble wrap. So that's what I'm up here today to do, I think. If I spring round gently, this is where I left it when I did it. I was getting on really well. I'd connected these two up, this one here, and was about to go further down, and I had about 2 or 3 to do, I think, or 2, something like that. So we'll pick it up again and get these connected. And then it's a case of just checking they all work, and then it is actually then, you know, clear the decks up the top and start ripping up track and sorting out what I got to do. So this is the cause of my doing myself in, was this point motor, and what it seems to do is it will push it, it will pull it over to the point being back, but then it won't push it back. And I'm not absolutely certain it's the point motor's fault. This is the one that I broke the pin off when I was fitting it, if you remember, and I took this out and turned it round, but I don't think it worked very well. So to overcome this, I bought a new point motor in case this doesn't work, and a new point, express point. So change this when I do the works. So hopefully that'll overcome that, because it needs to be reliable, doesn't it? And I have made a right mess of this point, so I think that's probably going in the bin. So this little job didn't take too long, and it would have saved me a lot of hassle, wouldn't it, if I'd have maybe thought of this first. But I've got 2 layers of the thick bubble and 2 layers of the thin bubble. The outer one I think will resist losing its bubbles more than the other one will, and it runs all the way round, as you can see, just to give a bit more protection. Now I really feel that if I'd have banged up against that flat like that, yes, it would have hurt, but I don't think I would have got the lacerations that I did. And if you're wondering, yes, I have taken a picture of the wound, but I think you would prefer not to see it. But I'm sure you can imagine what a 3-inch wound on sort of the top of your head is like, running from front to back, basically. So, signing off, and I'll come back to you hopefully when I've got these points sorted. So as the N7 crashes the picture, which I've got going, here are my clips. Now, the eagle-eyed of you will notice there's only 7 of them. So why is that? That's because one of them used the Hornby power tracks to connect to. So that's obviously still on the layout. So I'm pleased to say that all the points seem to be behaving themselves, so when I turn on the system they all seem to go to where they're supposed to. So these are the DCC Concept, I don't know, wire strippers I suppose you'd call them. I've got the box up there. These are 20 quid, but the way I'm doing this is you just put this is your buzz wire under the layout, and you literally just do that and pull, and I'm sure you can see there that we've got a bit of wire exposed. And then to do my connection, I put the end of my dropper or whatever that might be in here, give it a good bit of stuff on, and just pull again, and there we are. So they seem to do a nice job. I have once cut through the buzz wire once and then once I've got that like that, I just give it a twist. And yes, I know this is old hat and everybody knows about this, but I thought it was worth doing, you never know. And then where I've done the split in the, what's the name, you just turn that round, make a neat joint. Now I did think of soldering these wires before, but that's going to make them stiff, so I just do it like that. And then as you'll see, I just do the solder on it like that to hold it, and then put some tape round. So I'll just show you some of the other bits I'm using. So we've got the DCC Concepts Flux, which is a very watery liquid, which I've got in a little tumbler. I've got a little brush, a tiny little brush to just dab it on. I've got a big roll of solder, which I've had years. I don't know where I got it from. It does seem to be working. And I've got no idea what it is or what grade, but it does seem to work. What you've seen before with the black tape, which seems to work all right. And then if I just move you over, this is my soldering. It's nothing special. It's a Lidl's Parkside one, which I think was very reasonably priced. I mean, it's got the little what's the names for holding things if you need it, and it just comes out, and the tip is quite small, well, reasonably small. Hopefully this will be fine for doing them onto the rails, and we'll have to see how we go. But yeah, there's no temperature gauge or anything. It's on or it's off. But it seems to be working all right. So as you'll see in a minute. So I just thought I'd show you what I'm doing with these joints. And as you saw with the pliers or the cable strippers that I was supplied with, does a nice neat job. So after, as you saw, stripping that and then wrapping it round, it's just a simple case of dropping a bit of flux on it. And I'm not too bothered about how neat or whatever it is, I just want it to be a nice solid joint. And then I'll use my soldering iron, which is a basic, simple, nothing special, and just hopefully liberally apply it. Don't know if you can see that, there we are. Maybe a little bit more. There we are. So yes, nothing neat. It's just done. I'm just going to do the other one that is over here that you probably can't. So when I've done that, I just get some of the insulation tape that I showed you. Cut a little bit off. Obviously wait for the solder to go cold. Cut a little bit, and then I just literally wrap it, so you know, it looks a nice solid joint. As I say, I'm not aiming for neatness, I'm aiming for a bit of strength and reliability really. And I just wrap that round and pull it in nice and tight, and that'll do me, and that'll stop it getting shorted on anything. So, and there's the other one, if you can see it. So that's neat. Now yes, I know they're hanging down. I've done that on purpose because it's easier to do the works, and then eventually they will be held up under here with some little eyes that I'll screw up, and then some cable tidies, so it should be reasonably neat. And I thought I'd just run the N7 around with the carriages, just to have a little bit of fun up here while I'm doing it. And to be honest, now with all the point decoders connected to the system through the buzz wires, the next step now is to clear this layout and start doing all the track work. And the next video will be all about that, what I'm proposing to do. I have changed my mind slightly on some of the aspects of what I've done, and then I think it will be a bit up and down with the videos, but we'll have to see, won't we? So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.